I don't know how fast she is, but Kelly is in from the chamber. I guess she got down here kind of fast. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Gordy. How are you?
I am fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing pretty well. The sun is shining. I'm loving this warm weather in the middle of fall, so we kind of get the best of both worlds.
And how about the fall colors?
Oh, I know. They're perfect right now. I've seen some photos taken at the Nearstrand Bigwood State Park that are just stunning with the fall foliage.
Don't need to go to Nearstrand Bigwood State Park. I took some along 7th Street and some just a block from where we're sitting right now. Nice cherry colored trees.
Oh, yeah. Just driving along those tree-lined streets, it's beautiful right now.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed here. We've got some streets with a lot of maples on it.
Yeah, now that the rain is gone for the week, last week we had quite a bit of rain, and the weather is perfect. You can get outside and take it all in.
Yeah, rain helps though. Get that rain and then you get the sunshine, and that's when we're getting our colors.
That is true.
Look at the bluffs on the east side. Yeah. I noticed these things. I sat in Central Park and had lunch the other day and looked at all the maples around in the neighborhoods.
That must have been a really nice little escape from the day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I love Central Park.
Then a ladybug landed on my sandwich just as I was about to take a bite, and I decided I'd come back to the station and finish my sandwich.
Yeah.
It kind of turned me
That's
off.
the only downside of fall is the ladybugs and the box elder bugs are everywhere.
Yeah, they're getting ready to say goodbye.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot to talk about here. Let's touch on a couple of things that happened recently. You were at the Faribault Woolen Mill event that we were broadcasting live from on Saturday.
Yep, and I got to see John there, and we had set up a table, and as people came in, and it was a tremendous event, just tons of people rolling into the woolen mills, and we had a table set up with some visitor guides, some maps, and some local business information that we were connecting people to. So if they wanted to continue their local shopping experience or maybe grab a bite to eat, that we were able to give them that information and direct them to those places. And we had just a tremendous response to that. When I spoke to the mill, they were expecting over 2,000 people by noon. Just to kind of put that into perspective, they'd been lined up outside at least a half hour before the doors opened, and it was busy, to say the least. Just tons of people running around, and we were trying to get information in as many hands as possible. And I kind of liked to open up the dialogue of, oh, well, where are you from? Are you from our community? And a lot of them were from other areas. You know, we had a lot of Edina, a lot of Minneapolis, some Northfield, some local, but a lot of people coming from Rochester and Minneapolis areas, which was really nice to see that pull into our community. And then our goal was to help them, you know, continue their visit and offer some options in that way.
So did you speak to any northern Iowans or western Wisconsin folks?
You know, I think I did. I think I did speak to a couple, but I would say the majority that I spoke to were metro-based.
And then the Fall Festival was recent, wasn't it?
Yes, that was held September 30th, and the weather really, we've been so lucky. The weather always holds out for us by some miracle. And so that started at noon. We had a children's parade. We had the crack squad from Shattuck St. Mary's joined us that day. They led the parade, and then kids broke off into trick-or-treating at the downtown businesses. We had over 20 businesses participate, which is a great opportunity to kind of open that dialogue and familiarize themselves with the kids. We also had a lot of children's activities and games. The Paradise Center for the Arts hosted a spooky basement tour once again, so it was a lot of fun.
And the chili contest, very close. It says here 8 votes separated the top 2 contestants. I'm reading off the Chamber's website. Ryan Knott took home the trophy for the 3rd straight year. Wow, that's impressive.
He has won 3 years in a row, as did his predecessor. So he told me that his goal, he wants to win one more time just to have beat his 2 predecessors, and then he thinks he's going to hang up his chili ladle.
They have a zombie pub crawl coming up this weekend. We're going to get some more details about that. I know they got some prizes, and they're going to crown a king and queen of the dead that night. It's one title I would not want. King of the Dead, really? Anyway, we're going to touch on that and some other events going on in downtown Faribault upcoming. There's a Winterfest, I think it's called. Is that
yes,
what it's called?
there is. We're really excited about that.
Winterfest.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want winter to get here too soon.
No, but we have to start the planning now.
Harry Brown's Family Automotive in Faribault. Online at
Jana Viscomi
harrybrowns.com.
called Nort and she
36
said,
months, 10,000
"What
miles
did you
free.
guys
Comes
do
with
on
23
Saturday?"
signing plus tax title
What do you
license.
mean? She said,
Always
"My restaurant was so
in
packed they
stock.
ran out of
Details.
food.
Offers end 10/31/17.
They had to run and get more."
Where was that?
Bernie's.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
don't we need a newer,
Should be
bigger,
happy then.
No, she was. She was just amazed.
this year
No,
to
she doesn't
drive
like
that
North too
truck?
well.
I think that's moving in the right direction.
For whatever reason. I don't know, you can't like
Hey,
noise.
this is Save with Dave with Broscott Structures. Caller, come in and talk to Travis.
Girl. Well, as I mentioned, Kelly from the Chamber is with us. We've got a lot to cover, so we're going to dive right into it. The Zombie Pub Crawl is coming up this Saturday. I'm showing my age here, Kelly, because what is a zombie pub crawl?
It's kind of a movement that's taken off across the country. There's a lot of people that are really into shows like The Walking Dead that have become popular, movies like Shaun of the Dead. It's a very popular niche right now, and we actually had one of our young professionals come forward and say this is something that she'd like to see in Faribault. They have them in a lot of bigger communities, sometimes drawing in several thousand people, and we never expected or wanted it to get to that scale, but that's part of the reason she wanted it here. She wanted to partake in the fun but not be so overwhelmed, and she thought that we'd be a really good fit. And she came forward last year and said, is this something that we could orchestrate? I'd love to help plan this. And we said, yeah, you know what, if there's an interest, we're happy to help, craft this event. And she was really a pivotal player in it. We appreciate all the help that Heather has provided for that. And this year, I would say as early as July, had a few emails and phone calls saying, hey, are you doing that again? We'd love to partake. We want to get in. We want to come. We want to bring a group up. And so we said, yeah, we'll do it again. So it's set for this Saturday. The fun starts 7 p.m. Registration starts at 7, like I said, at Boxers. And then we're going to go around to other area bars as well. Each place is providing a drink special, except for Al's, which in lieu of a drink special is providing free cover that night. And they have a band. It's pretty popular. Devin Worley Band will be playing, and she does some classic rock, some country, so kind of appealing to a large audience, and that's going to be included in that. We're going to have some prizes, and the King and Queen of the Dead get crowned at midnight, and with that they receive a chamber check, which then they can use at participating businesses within our community.
The fun is from 8 till midnight.
Yep. And then, after that, people are welcome to stay out and about, but that's when our formal events wrap up. It is a 21 plus event, so bring your ID, but a lot of people really enjoy dressing up, doing their makeup, and having fun with the costumes.
So they make themselves look like zombies.
Yeah. Last year, I would say we had about 80% of the participants went full out and did the costumes and really got into it.
And if I remember, I had a great turnout last year.
Yeah, we really did. We had a pretty good turnout, and we're expecting at least that number, if not higher, this year.
You remember what it was?
So we were just shy of 100 last year, which for a first-time event is a pretty good success.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So you might double that this year.
We could. Anything's possible. And last year it was in November. This year it's in October, so maybe people are feeling a little more festive, a little more in that costume mindset because of Halloween. So we're hoping for a good turnout. And there's always information. We have an official event page for it on Facebook. If you type in Faribault Main Street, it'll come up under the event listing, and you can see more information about it, the specific locations. We're going to be adding the specials specifically on that page.
That's the Zombie Pub Crawl this Saturday. Again, registration begins at 7. Sorry, but...
It's, it's not for everyone, but for those that do enjoy it, they really have a lot of fun with it.
I bet the pictures are awesome.
Yeah, that's always... The creativity is what I like to see, because some people really are much more creative with their makeup and their costuming than you would expect.
And I don't know, this is downtown. The Lips, Sips, and LuLaRoe, which is on October 28th. It'll be from 10 until 4.
Yep, and that's a little pop-up shop that's been happening. They're kind of using that location where several independent business owners are teaming up in that space to create a little bit more of a draw. And as we move into the holiday season, bring an additional retail option to our downtown district.
They're calling it a Ladies' Day Out. That's located at 212A Central Avenue. Again, that's on October 28th, a week after this. Next Saturday is when it is. So those are some of the events going on in October. Anything for Halloween?
We specifically aren't doing anything for Halloween. We do the Fall Festival, and that was kind of our contribution to the Fall Festival or Fall festivities.
Yeah, there's a lot of Halloween events, I'm sure, around.
Yeah, and there are so many that day, and a lot of times people have prearranged items that weekend, so we're not tapping into that. But I can also say that this weekend is the Studio Art Tour.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you had them on
Yep.
AM Minnesota recently, and that's this weekend, and there's a couple stops in our community.
Yes, in Northfield and Farmington, that's a great time.
Mm-hmm.
People can take in all the fall foliage. I call it Mother Nature's art.
I like that. And then you can see some local artists too. So you can look at the actual leaves on the trees, and then you can go see a clay leaf pottery done by Diane Lockerbie, because she's part of the tour.
I don't know if you knew this or not, Kelly. I did a little research for the show and was looking at the census. I didn't realize this till I did the research. Faribault's population only went down in 2 censuses since 1870.
Really?
That's kind of amazing.
That really is.
It went down from the 70s to the 80s, and from 1970 to 1980, and 1980 to 1990, the population went down. Those are the only 2 decades where we saw a loss in population. It was like 2%, which isn't much.
Yeah, that's pretty marginal.
I just thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Since 1870, the U.S. Census has been going on. Of course, Faribault was platted in 1855, which is why those young lads that we had on the radio a couple weeks ago named their show 1855, right?
Love that show. It's a great segment. It's
They really do a good job.
yeah, and the effort they put in, it's fantastic.
The city was granted home rule, Faribault, in 1872. So, from 2000 to 2010, Faribault saw a growth of 12.2%. From 1990 to 2000, a growth of 21.8%.
That's pretty good.
Virtually every year, this city has seen a growth in population. As I said, the only loss was 2.1% in that neighborhood from 70 to 80 and 80 to 90. I just thought that was interesting
That is really intriguing.
to bring up.
Yeah.
Because, that's what we try to do when we talk with folks from the Faribault Chamber is bring up interesting information, because you guys always do. And I didn't want to get stumped again. November. Man, look at November and all the activities you have, Kelly. My word, on November 3rd, it's Ladies Crush Cancer Shop event.
Yep.
Downtown Faribault.
We're excited for that one. Anytime we can partner with a good event like that, we're pretty excited, and to help promote that. Obviously, crushing cancer is an important thing. It strikes home to a lot of people, and this one also gets people into some of those retail shops that maybe they haven't had a chance to experience, or just in their day-to-day don't get into as often as they'd like. So it's a really good partnership, and hopefully it has a really nice turnout.
Yeah, November 4th, of course, we had the YPro folks from the Chamber on. Your last Chamber segment here. A couple of young ladies told us all about their winter wear drive. It was, I think it's called a coat drive, but it's a winter wear drive, right?
Yes, and the distribution day is coming up on the 4th of November, and the generosity has been amazing. People walking in with bags, and they're clearing out their closets, and as a testament to AM Minnesota, we actually had a woman drive from Ellendale
Oh my.
with
Way
at
to go.
least 2 loads. I mean, it took her, a lady in her 90s heard it on the radio, thought it was a tremendous,
Well, you should
effort.
have called me, Kelly. I'd have helped her unload her car.
Yeah. So I ran out there, we helped her unload her vehicle, and she brought in all sorts of great items, and it's just been tremendous to really see all the contributions. Hopefully one day there won't be a need for this drive, but in the meantime, it's been really delightful to see the generosity of our community as those donations keep rolling in.
Is it too late for me to donate? Because
No, it's not.
Stuff I keep saying I got to bring it down. It's sitting out on my couch.
You've got till the end of the month to get it in.
Okay. Otherwise, it sits on my couch for another year, huh?
Right, and I think that's so many of us. We've got coats that maybe just are not the right size, or that we just don't wear anymore.
Outdated.
Well, yeah, or they're outdated for what our current use is, and
Right.
if we're not using them, they might as well go to someone who really could benefit from them.
Yeah. Well, some of these coats I've had for a long, long time. So will you take those, or
Yep, you know what? A person who's
they don't
cold.
have holes in them or anything?
Nope, as long as they don't have holes, we're happy to take them.
Should I launder it before I bring it? Or?
You can, but I think, we are going to go through and make sure everything's clean prior to the, the distribution day.
Which is November 4th. Again, the Walmart Community Distribution Day. What a great idea by the Y Pro folks.
It really is, and it's a fun way to give back.
November 14th, you have a member expert event. That's not necessarily a downtown event, but I thought I'd note it because, is this for members only, Kelly? Because it's on cybersecurity, and a lot of us
That is pretty interesting. I think everyone is welcome to attend, but you do have to register on the website. It's faribault.org.
Okay.
If you go under the events, you can see that, and it'll give you more information on that. But cybersecurity is something that we could all probably brush up our skills on and gain a little bit more intel on.
Mr. Kettering was on this show, I don't know, a few weeks back, telling us all about the Shattuck bringing the Vienna Boys Choir to Faribault again. They were here, about 10 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, I actually was recently looking at their performing arts calendar, and they've got some really excellent shows throughout the entire calendar year. The play that they're bringing in this winter looks to be phenomenal. And then in the spring, it's a long ways off, but I'm already kind of marking my calendar. They've got some traditional Irish musicians coming in, and they're going to do a show. And why would you not? If you have the opportunity to take in that level of talent, and right here in town, it's at our fingertips.
Yeah, we're very, very fortunate. And you've been in there.
I have not. I have not previously, but it's on my to-do list for this year. I'm going to check that one off and attend a couple performances. So between them and the Paradise Center for the Arts, really, there's some wonderful fine art opportunities in our community.
In fact, their space is larger than the Paradise.
Is it?
The theater portion.
Yeah, and I have not been in there, so that'll be exciting to see.
Yeah. Kelly from the Chamber is with us. We're talking all about events coming up this fall here in Faribault. Come on over, folks, because the leaves are ablaze. Are they not?
They are. If you follow the Minnesota DNR, they've got a fall leaf finder. It tracks the colors, and we're just about in peak season right now. So
this weekend we'll hit peak.
Yeah, so this is your optimal time. Make a little fall road trip, drive around the lakes, meander through the town, and really just soak it all in.
We have a lot of maples around here, so a lot of color. Not just maples either, produce color.
Yeah.
There's some nice bushes. I was at the Red Barn for a wedding reception over in Northfield last Saturday. My cousin's son got married. They met at St. Olaf, so the wedding was at St. Olaf. And then the wedding reception, unfortunately, it rained all day, so it was muddy. Muddy.
Yeah.
And they had to duck in and out of the church to get their pictures. It was kind of a nasty day in that respect.
They say that rain on your wedding day is actually a sign of good luck.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it did on my wedding day. I remember it was windy. I do remember that. I don't think it rained. It was in November. But that was many moons ago, too. Anyway, we're talking about what's happening in downtown Faribault. Winterfest, when is that?
Winterfest, we've got two big events that really stand out and that I want to talk a little bit about. November 30th being the first, and that's when we do our annual window decorating contest. It's been a pretty fun tradition. I believe this is the 14th year of that. And the last handful of years, we've provided a theme as a launching point. People can take that theme and run with it, or they can use their own creativity and come up with their entirely different one. So we do two different awards, one for best decorations within the theme and one for best independent theme, if you will. This year's theme is again tying into the play at the Paradise Center for the Arts, because it also is kind of a fun, everyone always says in winter, oh, I wish I could be somewhere tropical. Well, this year's play is coconuts and mistletoe. So we're letting people put a tropical spin on their Christmas festivities in downtown Faribault this year, or they can go wild, and that's always really fun to see what people come up with in that regard as well. And the voting for that's going to be November 30th, so come on down, grab a hot cup of cocoa, stroll, and vote for your favorite. Also that night, it's kind of become a tradition, we're doing the horse-drawn wagon rides, which is very nostalgic and fun, and of course there's no cost to hop on and take a spin through downtown Faribault, but it's just kind of a neat experience. And new this year, we're bringing in an ice carver, and we're really excited about that. It's Adam Scholengerdes. He's a local gentleman, and He's an artist, but he also has done some ice carving at events like the St. Paul Winter Ice Carnival, and he's taken home first in their competition. So he's very talented at what he does, and we're excited to have him come and create a piece in downtown Faribault, and you can watch the process that night.
Hopefully it's cold enough.
It is. He actually said anything that is below mid-40s, because it's a pretty solid piece of ice, it can usually withstand as long as it's not in direct sunlight. So in the evening, he should be all right. And it should even last a day or two, because he's not doing anything particularly fragile or where it gets excessively narrow. So it should last a couple days, and it should last until December 2nd, where we've got a full day of events as well. We're hoping to orchestrate a family-friendly movie to play in the afternoon, at which point, Mom and Dad can maybe do some shopping throughout the downtown.
So will that be the Village Theater then?
Yep, that's the hope. We're trying to orchestrate and finalize all of that. And then we're hosting a parade of lights in downtown Faribault, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to showcase some creativity as people either deck out their boom trucks if they've got a construction company or things like that, or maybe they really craft something special. So it'll be exciting to see what people come up with, and we invite anyone to get a float together. If you want to have a float, let us know. There's no cost to do so. Just reserve your spot, let us know, and we can create a listing, and you can do so by calling the chamber. So maybe KDHL should have a float.
No, our 70th birthday's next year. So.
Exactly. And how fun would that be to have a
cake with 70 candles on it? Keep people warm downtown Faribault during the Winterfest.
Exactly. So the Parade of Lights is going to be at 5 p.m. and then following that we're going to have a street dance where we're inviting people to bundle up and boogie.
Bundle up and boogie.
Yeah. You're going to want to dress a little bit warm. We are going to have some space heaters and whatnot out there, but you're still going to want to dress for the weather. It is winter.
You never know, though. December 2nd, you never know.
That's true. Sometimes it's warm. Sometimes, that cold doesn't always strike really till January sometimes.
Yeah,
so we're looking for a good time, and we're inviting everyone to come down for that street dance and Parade of Lights. We think it's going to be a really fun day in downtown Faribault.
December 2nd. Of course, they do a torchlight parade in Montgomery.
Yep. And theirs is a different date. I don't recall it off the top of my head, but we actually think sometimes that, they complement each other well.
Sure.
Maybe people will have already decked out their floats for that. They'll maybe bring it on over and also enjoy this one.
Yeah. Might as well kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, you can get blood at the Elks Lodge in their banquet hall this Sunday from 11 until 4. I promised I would mention that. 11 until 4 this Sunday. Give blood. The gift of life.
Are you a donor?
Yes, I am. I don't think I can give yet. I gave fairly recently.
Oh, yeah. They kind of keep a track on that.
Yeah, you can't, you have so many days in between giving blood, but it's a terrific gift of life. So again, the holiday open house, November 30th, the Winterfest parade, the lighted parade, which means it'll be in the evening.
Yep, dusk is set to be at 4:30 that day. We're giving ourselves a little bit of window of time for the sun to completely go down. And it's shocking to say and think that it's going to be dark already at 5. But it looks like it will be. And so, unfortunately, I love the daylight. It throws my whole equilibrium off when it's dark so early. But we're going to take advantage of that and have it nice and early so that families come down and enjoy the Parade of Lights.
Just going to check and see when we fall back our clocks. Do you remember?
It's in November, and I want to think it's the first week of November, but I could be wrong.
Doesn't say on my calendar, does it? No, doesn't say on my calendar.
I want to think it's the first week of November.
But we do fall back our clocks in the fall. We spring forward our clocks in the spring. Good time to remember to change the batteries in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide alarms.
Yeah, especially coming right off Fire Prevention Week. That's a good reminder.
Yeah. Well, we had lots of fire prevention tips here during Fire Prevention Week. Kelly from the Chamber is with us. Let's see here. Anything else you wanted to touch on, Kelly, that we didn't?
Yeah, we've got some other fun things coming up as well, including the Shop Small Saturday, November 25th. So once you get out of that turkey coma, people usually rush and hurry to the big box stores for Black Friday. And
Thanksgiving is the Irish Turkey Trot, too.
That's right, which is another great event in our community. And
people literally from all over the United States come to that.
Well, Faribault is the home of Iris. It was founded here.
I understand that. But
Yeah,
still,
so it's
you're
a wonderful
talking
event.
Thanksgiving holiday, people fly in from like New York, and I'm not kidding, to attend this.
It's a wonderful event. It really is, and it benefits a great organization. So we love that they do that, and we love that they have a great response. So people go, they run in the morning, they have Thanksgiving with their families that afternoon. A lot of people hurry out and they do their Black Friday shopping, which certainly can appeal. But then on Saturday, we encourage people to shop small. It actually started in 2010, and it's kind of tucked in between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And that's when you support your local brick and mortar stores, your mom and pop and your local stores. And there's a lot of really wonderful reasons to shop local, which I think a lot of people are well acclimated with, but it kind of maintains that community character and fills in some of those openings within our, that way you don't have a lot of empty businesses when you have that. It encourages entrepreneurship. It gives you product choices and encourages healthy competition.
Well, and a dollar turns like 7 times in the local community.
Exactly. You see it a lot more. It keeps your jobs local. You save your gas money and your time on the road. It instills hometown pride. Those businesses being tied to the community are more likely to contribute to our community with time, contributions, and, being vibrant citizens of our community. So there's just so many wonderful aspects of shopping local, and that's November 25th is officially Shop Small Saturday. We will be doing a campaign to encourage people to shop local as we do every year. We've just gotten our big supplies in for that again this year with the Shop Small totes that are a really fun design and some extra promotional products and banners that you're going to see hanging up throughout the community. But although there's one day that's dedicated to it, we want to remind people that every day is a good day to shop local and get out there and support your local businesses, because a lot of these people are your neighbors.
Yeah, no question. Zombie pub crawl. Again, it's this Saturday.
I'm hearing that you're not going to be dressing up.
Well, I probably look like a zombie without dressing up.
I do until I get my coffee each morning.
I mean, seriously, I probably would make a very good zombie. Thanks for stopping by, Kelly.
Thanks for having me.
I know Kim and Nort are at a conference, so that's why Kelly stopped by from the chamber with our bi-monthly chamber visit. We appreciate that a lot. Tomorrow, by the way, we're going to talk about the Paradise Shindig, their 10-year anniversary coming up on October 28th.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Faribault, Minnesota.